Hi everyone, greetings from Croatia. Even though my seat is in Serbia, in Novi Sad, today we are traveling the highway towards Croatian capital, Zagreb, and we'll be talking about it during this video. So, driving from Serbia to Croatia is not a long road. These two countries were formerly a part of one and the same Socialist Federative Republic of Yugoslavia up until early 90s when we separated. Sometimes I have very peculiar questions from my guests who are traveling along the roads of former Yugoslavia, and as soon as we leave the Republic of Serbia and I start conversing with people from our neighboring countries, they tend to ask me if I speak Croatian or if I speak Bosnian. No, I don't. And then they start to ask me if the other person is speaking Serbian, then I say no, they don't. So everyone is confused about that question. How does it come that we can communicate even though we don't speak the same language? Well, we do. We speak the same language, but unfortunately, because of political disambiguance, the languages are now named differently. But I don't need a translator, neither in Croatia, nor in Bosnia, nor in Montenegro. For example, I would need a translator if I went to Slovenia. Maybe not a translator, but they would need to speak a little bit slower. And also if I went to Northern Macedonia. So those two languages are slightly different than the rest of the Central Balkan Peninsula. We still do share the same root of the Southern Slavic languages. So don't be confused if during this video you hear something from behind. I don't need a translator in Zagreb. We still speak the same language, but with slight differences. They call it Croatian, I call my language Serbian, but in the very root, as I already mentioned, it is the very same language, Southern Slavic languages group. See you from Zagreb. Hello, here we are on the central square of the capital city of Croatia, devoted to this gentleman whose monument is standing right behind my back, Ban Josip Jelačić. This general was one of the greatest Croatian military men of the 19th century. So the central square in the capital city of Croatia, Zagreb, is named after this Ban Josip Jelačić. Anyway, this little square was founded on a meeting spot of two smaller villages, Kaptol and Gradec, in the 17th century. And the first purpose of this square was to serve as a market place for the two villages. Today, this is a central square of the capital city of Croatia. The capital city that counts approximately 1 million inhabitants. That would be that every fourth person in Croatia lives in Zagreb. So welcome to Zagreb. We'll see a little bit more throughout our daily tour. We are walking now through a very narrow street that should take us to the medieval tower that shoots a cannon up until today, precisely at noon. I did not reach the cannon tower, but on my way I reached this beautiful spot with a view over the cathedral. This is a small tamburica band. very characteristic for the region of Pannonian Plain. We have that back at home. I have that back at home in Novi Sad. It's also characteristic for Hungary. So the whole region of the Pannonian Plain is very well known for this type of music. We'll just take a stroll along the streets of the upper town to one of the most prominent squares, Church of St. Marcus, with a very colorful rooftop made out of Žolnej ceramics. So as promised, the colorful rooftop of St. Marcus Church in Zagreb, Croatia. Tourist groups, especially on the locations of greater historical importance. Taking pictures, taking photos, local guides everywhere. A cannon tower with a very short tram, 66 meters, for the lazy guests who don't wish to take the steps. It takes over 66 meters and starts every 10 minutes, each and every day. The little blue tram is the oldest tram in the town of Zagreb. A beautiful panoramic view overlooking the rooftops of Zagreb. It's 2 minutes until 12 o'clock noon, and the reason why we are standing right here in this moment, because precisely at noon we are waiting for a cannon to shoot. Namely, this tower is the only remaining of the fortress from the 13th century. Back in those days, this was the central fortress, also with a cannon that shooted each and every evening at the sunset, because they would close the gates during the night. But it became a local tradition. So, as you can see, there are loads of tourists who are aware of this tradition. There is also a small tram, 60 meters, it brings you up the hill. Also the oldest tram in the town of Zagreb. So we'll just keep quiet and wait for the cannon to shoot precisely at 12 o'clock noon. And everyone is waiting for this spectacular moment each and every day. Whoa! Whoa! That was strong. That was strong. I think you saw my hands tremble in this video. Impressive.